Well, but by 1979, Rapper's Delight came out. So as you're leaving, the first hit hip hop record is coming in using some of your rhymes.
Yeah.
The hotel motel part. And I had interviewed, like I said, Grandmaster Caz before, and they were recording music already, on cassette tapes and so forth. But by 79, that's when the first official record came out that became an international hit and kind of put hip hop on the map. I mean, even it's the song starts out a hip, a hop, a hip into the hip.
There we go.
Like,
right.
Yeah. When you first heard it, because you yourself never actually recorded music, right?
Not at all. Not at all. See, then Cedric tricked me with that Christmas record, but, I'll let that be. That's part of, I guess, the politics and tricking you,
Right. I mean, you yourself, once you actually saw Rapper's Delight do what it do, and, like I said, you knew Big Bang Hank, so it's very close to you.
Yeah.
Why not jump, go to the studio, write down the rhymes, make a record, and
because
so forth?
I couldn't
did
see
Kool Herc record anything himself?
Nah. I made 8 tracks. See, nobody never said that. I made 8 tracks for hustlers. I used to sell 8 tracks for $50. This is in 74. I'll make a special made tape for you, but it was 50 or better. 8 tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. So you basically shouted out all the big drug dealers and so forth.
I call your name, your car, whatever.
Yeah. It's interesting. I interviewed Too Short. He said he came up the exact same way. He'd hang out in Oakland, make special tapes for all the big D-boys and, getting $100 for it, whatever.
Right. Listen, I wasn't in the bar ordering milk and I didn't drink. You know what I'm saying? Certain things it went with the territory. An old hustler told me, it's better for the police to catch you with your gun than to stick up guys to catch you without it. And that's fact. Come on, I knew guys running around with 20, 30,000 a week. They 16, 17, they selling heroin in Harlem. 126, 116. I knew some of the biggest cats. I knew at least almost the top 5 young guys getting money back then. Everybody kept brand new cars. Look at Dick Gidron, the Cadillac. Cats, you go in there, they used to call him the shopping bag dealer. You go in there with 10, 15, 20,000, you coming out with a car. You ain't got to have a license the first. He'll give you a temporary license and whatever. You know how you drive with them plates for 2-3 months? It was money talk then, as they say, and that other thing just go about what it go about. And in my neighborhood, the police was so much under the tape. Not all police is corrupt. I got an uncle that's in the service with all that. But anyway, if you had 1,700 on you, they wouldn't take you to the precinct. They'll take you to Hunts Point. They'll take you to Bronx Terminal Market, kick you in the butt, and tell you what you want. You want to get locked up or you want to walk? So if you kept over 700 on you, you barely suddenly went to jail. That's how corrupt it was with the police. And then they would do it on a regular. They get each different individual. So they might walk away with 5,000 that particular day.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. Well, in 1986, Boogie Down Productions, headed by KRS-One, did the song South Bronx. And it started out with, now way back in the days when hip hop began with Coke, La Rock, Kool Herc, and then Bam.
Okay.
When you heard that, how'd you feel?
I felt great. That's why I said I didn't know Scott La Rock personally. And he lived in the project where, I stayed. I used to come around a lot. But I felt real good. I mean, like I said, again, when guys start using La Rock, a couple of guys used to ask me, Coke, can I put La Rock on my name? My man Butchie La Rock, he ain't had nothing to do with hip hop. He was a guy I knew in the hood, we hang out and all that. Then when guys start taking the name, but like I said, I named my son that first. His name is Dante La Rock. So once I started hearing guys do that, I came into that where you had to want to be me. That's what made me feel funny. Like, wow, they must have wanted to be me because you don't take on a cat name if his status of being that guy. And like I said, my status was very good. I was starting to hustle then. I was a hustler in so many ways. I fought very well. I played basketball very well. So once again, man of my own, not a stepping stone. So I can see now. Like now, there's so many LaRocks, you know, like you wouldn't want to be me if I wasn't that guy. But I couldn't see it then. Like I said, I never had a DJ, MC mentality. Never. Never. That's why now all this is like new to me. Really new to me. Like it gives me little chills in a way, these interviews and certain things and people. But I have to respect all parts of hip hop. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's how you got to survive, you know?
Well, you know, you look at right now, 2021. This is 48 years after that party in 1973. We're coming up on 50 years since the first hip hop party. And I'll be honest, I'm 48 years old myself. I was born, you know, on that same year that you guys threw that party.
Okay.
And I remember, you know, being a lifetime hip hop fan. Over the years, a lot of people didn't think hip hop was going to last.
No, of course
I
not.
remember in high school, you know, a kid in high school told me like 2 more years. That's 2 more years, hip hop will be played out and it'll be over. They'll go on to the next thing.
Of course.
You know, you look at, for example, music genres like go-go music, which are, it's huge in Washington, D.C., but it's not a worldwide phenomenon. It's always remained a very local thing. And hip hop could have remained a local thing as well. But you look at 2021, it's essentially pop music. It's the biggest genre in the world in almost every country. You look at any chart, you know, whether it's Billboard, Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever, and hip hop songs are dominating that entire chart every year now.
We made Billboard. We made Billboard magazine. We played in Taft Schoolyard. This was in the 70s. There happened to be a guy from Billboard there, and he seen we packed the place, maybe over 500 people. And the next day he wrote, there's 2 guys playing a different style of music up in the Bronx, and everybody's with it. And nobody said that. We was one of the first cats to put it on the radio, WBLS. We gave a Christmas party. We started doing that. We was doing a lot. We played in almost everybody's recreation center. Then we start playing for schools. We played for her sister's school. She went to Dodge. The party started at 6. At 6:30, the police had to shut it down because guys was breaking in the window to get to a Cool Herc party. You'll go on punishment forever. You'll take a beating to be at a Cool Herc party.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at just the effect of where hip hop has grown, and how big it is, starting from these small parties down the street from where you lived. How do you feel about hip hop these days as being the originator?
I feel good, you know, and what made it, I didn't feel it through my peers because to me, a lot of them, you know, everybody got a little jealous tendency or whatever. But the story I told about my grandson, man, it was Black History Month. And my grandson, Josiah, he was 6. So he called me one day. He said, you know, they called me Papa. So he said, Papa, what's your real name? I said, what you mean my real name? He said, your real name. So I said, why you ask me that? He said, no, I'm doing something. I need to know your real name. So I told him my real name. Then he said, how old are you? What you did? He started questioning me. So I said, why you ain't ask your dad? You know, that's my son. Ask your dad. So he said, no, I need to hear it from your mouth. So he asked me a bunch of little questions. Then he said, okay, Papa, I got enough. So we hung up, and I said, hold up. What was he questioning me about? So I called him back. I said, grandson, why you asking me all them questions when you could have asked your dad? He said, Papa, it's Black History Month, and you're the first MC of hip-hop, and you're my hero. That's all I needed. I don't need nobody to co-sign me. And that's why now I'm staying in it due to my grandkids and my team. Jack, Desiree, Lucky Bling. Them 3 people in my life is keeping me with hip-hop, especially Jack. Jack kept me with the young, and Jack, like I said again, like, he named the club after me. It was called the West End. He had part of it, and he turned it into LaRocks. And that there was one of the greatest gifts someone could have did for me to make me feel who I am. And we had an artist, her name is She Real. This is her shirt. I'm wearing her shirt, and I never forget, DJ Hollywood had a party the same night. So I was at the club, And I was leaving. So the young lady, she real, was like, Coke La Rock, you didn't hear me perform. And I said, wow. I stopped and I said, okay. And I stayed to hear her perform. And after that, I said, I can never leave because this is the young. I gotta absorb what they was given. And ever since then, I've been going, and I've been with her for at least 4 or 5 years now. And she's phenomenal. Someday she's gonna make it.
Well, Coke La Rock, man, thank you so much for your contribution as being the first MC ever. I feel like I'm talking to history right now.
Yes, you are.
And
thank you.
I am.
Thank you,
I am.
Thank
and to make such a big impact, to create a genre that was able to so seamlessly incorporate every other type of music into itself. Because, hip hop didn't start off as its own musical genre. It started off sampling funk and sampling James Brown. And then later on, it sampled jazz, with the Tribe Called Quest. And then later on, it sampled Parliament Funkadelic with the EPMDs and the Dr. Dre's. And it keeps sort of absorbing other genres, but always making it its own. You know a hip hop record when you hear it, no matter where it came from.
Of course.
And to create, and before hip hop, you had to learn how to sing. You had to have singing ability or take singing lessons. With rap, anyone could sort of jump into and try it out. Now, the true masters always rose to the top,
I agree.
But it opened up a door for anyone to actually try it. And you could sample the music so you didn't have to actually play it. And it created such an opportunity, I think, for so many people to get into it, like I did at one point.
Right.
And figure out their own role in the genre, and I think that you're the reason, definitely one of the big reasons why we are where we are today. And it's such a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I just want to personally thank you. And I use Lad TV as a platform for giving people like yourself their flowers.
Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate this 100. Really do.
Well, thank you so much for coming through. I wish you all the best. Looking forward to what you have coming up next.
Thank you.
Take care. Peace.
Peace.